Peggy 16.
Hello world, I'm Patricia, and this is...
Hi, I'm Dom.
He is our...
campaign designer.
Yes, and we're from Creative Assembly, and we are about to do a Let's Play video on the campaign map. So, do you want to walk me through what we're going to see today?
Yep, well, we're going to begin off just by showing you the front end and introducing you to the factions that we've been revealing over the past while.
Sweet.
I mean, this is the front end at the moment. May change a little before we release, but you get the idea. We have our factions, or our major faction groups up top here. In this case we have Rome selected. You can see that we have the three families, the houses you can choose from.
Cool.
Now each major faction, that is Carthage or Rome, or each faction group, Eastern Empires, Britannic tribes, Gallic tribes, successor kingdoms and Germanic tribes, have a sort of a unifying faction trait. Now in the case of the Romans, they get this little experience gain rate boost to their heavy infantry, and they get some food production bonus across their provinces.
Everyone likes bread.
Everyone likes bread, and circuses.
Yeah.
And then these remaining three traits are actually specific to whichever faction or family you pick. So in the case of these guys, the Cornelia, we have they're great administrators, obviously important statesmen within Roman politics, so you get a little tax bonus. They're very fond of Greek people, so you have this little Phil-Hellenic diplomatic bonus with all Greek factions.
Sweet.
But also they're a bit up themselves and don't care much for the little man, so they get some public order issues in their regions and provinces.
Some riots going.
Now Julia, which is Caesar's house, of course, again they'll have the Roman legions and the bread and circuses. But they also have a Romanization bonus, which means they can convert provinces to Latin culture a lot faster than the other two families can. Countered by their drawback, which is the fact that no one really likes them because they're so keen on crushing everyone's everyone's culture, that they get some penalties to public order there. But they're also destroyers of barbarians. Obviously Caesar was the guy who conquered Gaul. We thought we'd give them a little bit of a boost when conquering barbarian tribes, so that's their thing.
Cool, very cool.
And then Junia, a family which was, I believe, one of the founders of the Republic, one of the people who ousted the king and started the Republic back in the day, was from this family. And so they have this founding fathers trait, which gives them a little bit of a public order bonus when they are, there's a strong Latin culture presence in their regions. Not very good on the political scene, so they have a bit of a penalty. Makes it a bit harder to play as them if you're looking to make friends in other factions. But like I say, you have this little bonus to your own territory, so you're all right.
Not very good at making friends then.
And they were sort of agrarian, like reformists, so they get a bit more cash from their farms, which is all good. And yeah, I mean you can see something similar with Carthage. We have the Hananids, the Maganids, the Barkids, and they all have similar things. So they'll have two traits that are common to them, and then the rest will sort of change.
And now we have different victories as well, right?
We do indeed. So everybody has a military, an economic, and a cultural. Yep. So
that's
here
pretty cool.
Military, control X amount of settlements, maintain a number of units, research military technologies. In the case of the Carthaginians here, they have the additional fact they need to maintain naval units rather than just any old unit, because they were known as a naval power. So that's very important. And then the economic victory, trade relations, very important. You need to hold the resources. You need to be making a lot of money to win. Research civil technologies.
So would you say some victories are harder to do than others, or are they just styled differently?
Well, I think it depends how your campaign evolves. The fact is, you're not actually tied into any one victory condition. You're sort of playing along. You might be thinking, I'm going to crush my enemies, and you're going for it, and then along the way you think, well, I'm actually having a very hard time of it, but I'm making a load of cash.
Yeah.
And I have all these important resources, and I've got these regions, so maybe I'll just consolidate and see if I can't win another way.
Yeah, cool. That's cool. Are we going to take a look at the campaign map a little bit?
Take a look. Yeah, we're going to look at a Carthaginian campaign we've got going on.
Good. I'm quite excited to play Germanic, actually. Should be good.
Why so?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
They actually have the coolest agent belongs to the Germanic. their version of the dignitary is this staff bearer, kind of bit of a witch, really. And she's this
Oh, cool.
awesome cloak with like skulls and
Yeah.
feathers, and she's awesome.
See, I really like their type of style. I don't know, it sounds a bit silly to pick a faction just from the style that they had, but I
Well, no,
like
when
them.
when this dignitary agent went in, I basically looked and like, I would play this just so I could walk around with her, and you know, here we are. We are get this control. We are looking at we're in Mauritania here. So we sort of started all the way down here. This is Carthage, our capital.
Cool.
We also had a
huge.
colony here in Lilybaeum and Caralis, as well as a small colony all the way over in Kart Hadasht, which actually means Carthage as well, but we felt it might be confusing to have several cities with the same name.
Yeah.
Now you'll
Love it.
notice, or people out there, keen-eyed people will notice that, actually no, you won't notice, because obviously we've been playing for a while here. But yeah, in the start pause, originally we gave this territory to Carthage,
Oh, right.
but we kind of adjusted it now, so rather than giving them the entire north of Africa, they're an interesting faction to start with because they're spread out. So here they have Carthage, they're here, all the way over in Spain. It's a lot to manage in very different areas. You've got to really make sure you don't get overwhelmed by people.
Run me through some of sort of the inner workings of a city, and maybe we can take a look at some of the politics, some of sort of the, behind the scenes things that may happen after a battle or before a battle.
Well, what you're going to see here is we have an entire province, the province of Magna Graecia, which we've conquered both from the Romans and from the poor fellows of Syracuse. And by selecting one of the settlements here, you'll see we bring up the entire province panel. If we didn't own all the settlements, these would be sort of blocked out, and we need to get visual confirmation to be able to get sort of spy information on these places, see what's
cool.
inside them. But as you can see, we've got a lot going on here, and we're currently running an edict. This is the Stimulate Trade Edict, which gives a considerable boost to all your income from markets and trade ports. Obviously, it's you can't run these edicts unless you own the entire province. So if I say go back to Carthage, I just have the one settlement. I can max this out as much as I want, but unless I secure control of the other regions here, I'm not going to be able to just boost it with that extra bit of that extra sweetener that is the edict. So here, obviously, we want to make money. We've been trying to rake it in, prosecuting many wars. Yeah, you need money. You can't kill people without money.
Always need that money.
But what else we can do here? We can rally the mercenaries. Now, the Carthaginians were very much known for their use of mercenaries. Their civilian fighting force was not very good. Lots of their own citizens were fighting in the navy, but so if you want to add to your mercenary units, you can, when you have an entire province, go to rally mercenaries.
Ah, look at the little green. Everyone's celebrating.
Well, in this case, they're celebrating. That's a population buff. You can see there. If it's a military buff, it'll have red confetti. And
cool.
if you're making lots of money, then it'll be a
Gold one.
gold one. Yeah, so visual confirmation. You set off your edict, you get this confetti effect. You can see it across the map in other places as well, assuming other people are celebrating. But I think these guys have cause to celebrate. Now you'll see here that the Etruscan League have actually kicked the Romans out of Rome, which is quite an unhistoric turn, but hey, that's what this game's about. It's about creating the sandbox and exploring it.
Making your own
making
history.
your own history, or letting the AI sometimes create its own history for you. So here we are. We have the overview map, which I'm sure many of you have seen. I'm sorry, we don't care about unrest right now. What we care about is the map.
Is the map.
Yeah, many of you have seen this in the E3 video, of course. The world is huge.
Massive.
And see, these are all the people I know. It's actually quite tragic because, you look at this list.
Wow.
See that Rome has been destroyed. Now there's lots of other people for us to kill, so it's not such a big deal.
But look at all those people.
Yeah. So we've done a bit of exploring. We've seen some ships around. You can see that we've got trade relations going on, and by trading with people further afield, you reveal more and more. As in Shogun 2, you have to encounter a faction before you can actually deal with them.
Yeah, and you've made some enemies as well.
Well, of course, not everyone is going to be on good terms. Like here, the Seleucids, for example, they have not much of a reason to like me.
No.
I'm dealing with their enemies. Sorry. You can see I've dealt with them in the past, so they have some goodwill. But when combined with the fact that I'm basically trading and being all pally with some of their worst enemies,
Yeah.
it doesn't add up very well.
Are you going to try to rectify that, or are you just going to...
Well, they're a bit far away for the moment. I'm sort of concentrating on this area here.
Not a problem.
The minute I start moving across, or if they survive and make their way across and start conquering, when we encounter each other, chances are it's going to start off very badly.
Cool.
And this is someone who is, on good terms with me. We have the Celtiki, or however you want to pronounce that.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Dom, for taking me through this, and I guess see you guys around.
I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.
Rome 2 is epic in scale. It's a world-spanning, world-conquering game. To create that grandeur and that epic sense of scale, we need to create audio that really supports that. So the prologue in Rome 2 is a kind of contained, narrative-driven mini-campaign that leads the player into the full campaign game.
Soldiers of Rome, we have travelled far together, down a path not of our choosing.
So we have Mark Strong playing the part of Silanus, who's the kind of protagonist in the prologue.
Mark Strong is a great actor. He's worked in numerous films, Kick-Ass, Sherlock Holmes.
Mark is perfect for the role. He's got power and gravitas. You can just feel the strength in his voice when he delivers a line.
Fate and the cruelty of man compelled each of us to draw our weapons, stand back to back, and defend our lands against the common foe.
He kind of starts off as a mid-rank Roman commander, and then as the prologue progresses, he sort of rises up in rank to eventually become a proconsul.
He's a very accomplished military commander, the kind of guy you would follow into battle. Although interesting in the game, the more successful he becomes and the more power he accrues, he seems to fulfill that old saying that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
It is clear that evil left unchecked will always find Rome.
It's very important you understand the character you're playing in order to give the game some life.
We shall forge our destiny together!
If you're trying to find a way to give him gravitas and make him believable, you've got to make the lines sound like somebody who you would follow into battle.
We did not seek this war. It is our homes at birth.
So I've given him a kind of gravelly strength.
He definitely draws the player into the game right from the start. He sort of builds up his character really well, and just kind of the weight and command in his voice works really well.
My work this morning, there's been a lot of rallying call to battle, so as far as I'm concerned, Romans spend most of their time fighting, it seems to me.
For Rome!